Welcome to the Portable Classroom. Maximize your potential program. This is a comparison video of the first and the second conditionals. In this video, we are going to find out how to use these two conditionals and when to use them. So without further ado, let's begin. First, let us look at the formulations of both conditionals. First conditional, the second conditional. As you can see here, for the first conditional, after the if clause, after the word if, this part of the sentence is called the if clause. We use the present simple tense. As for the other half of the sentence is written in the future tense. Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm very sick right now. I'm thinking about whether or not I should go to work tomorrow. So if I feel better, I will go to work. I'm talking about tomorrow, okay? So if I feel better, I will go to work. Now, if I feel sick, I will stay at home. So for the if clause in both sentences, you can see that they are written in the present simple tense. Base verb, base verb. We use the base verb in the present simple tense after pronouns other than the third person singular ones. So I feel, you feel, he feels. Alright, so this part of the sentence is present simple tense, and as for the other half of the sentence is written in the future tense. So that's what the first conditional look like. So remember, I'm sick and I'm thinking about tomorrow's work. If I feel better, I will go to work. If I feel sick, I will stay at home. Now, as for the second conditional, as you can see that after the word if, the if clause is written in the past tense, not the present tense. And for the other half of the sentence, we have three different choices. We can use would with the base verb, could with the base verb, or might with the base verb. All right, these three words, they are not exactly the same when it comes to definitions, meanings. So you can choose which one to use depending on what you want to talk, what you want to converse to your audience. All right, let me give you another example. Let's say if I could fly. Now this word over here is being used as the past tense of can. The past tense of can is could, so it's past tense. If I could fly, I would travel around the world by myself or without taking airplanes. Alright, so you can see that if I could fly, this part of the sentence is written in the past tense. Could is the past tense of can. I would, with the base verb, I would travel around the world by myself. But of course, this is not possible because humans can fly. So you can see that the second conditional, the reason why it uses the past tense, and would is the past tense of will, could past tense of can, and might sometimes serve as the past tense of may, is because they are not true. We are just using them to talk about an imaginative situation. Okay, if I could fly, which is not going to happen, I would travel around the world by myself. So these are the formulations of the first conditional and the second conditional. This is the first conditional, present tense, future tense. Second conditional, past tense, would, could, might with base verbs. So let's talk about when to use them. Really compare by definitions, how are they different? When to use it or when to use them. Compare the following two examples. First, let us take a look at the first example, okay, for the first conditional. Peter isn't sure whether or not it will rain tomorrow. So he's not sure about the weather tomorrow. Okay? Now here we have two different situations. These are things that are likely to happen tomorrow. They are totally possible. These are two situations that can be true tomorrow. So if it rains tomorrow, remember present tense, future tense. I will take a bus to work. So that's the first one. If it rains tomorrow, I will take a bus to work. Now, if it doesn't rain tomorrow, I will ride my bike to work. Okay, so as you can see in these two examples, these are two possible things that will happen, will or will not happen tomorrow. One is it will rain, the other one is it won't rain. But I have no way of telling which one is true. But I'm saying that in situation number one, if it rains tomorrow, I will take a bus to work. This is what I will do if it rains tomorrow. Now, if it doesn't rain tomorrow, situation number two, I will drive my bike to work, and this is what I will do if it doesn't rain tomorrow. So you can see that for the first conditional, we are talking about what we will do in the future, part of a future movement, a future steps, a future plan, what we will do in the future. And actually, we are making a choice. Situation number one, if this happens, I would do this. If this happens, I would do the other one. So we're actually planning for the future, planning for what is ahead of us. That's when we use the first conditional. As for the second conditional, Peter doesn't get good grades on tests. That's because he plays video games all the time. Now, this is the condition. If he didn't missing a word. If he didn't play video games so often, which is not true, because the truth is this. He plays video games all the time. This is the truth. And this is the opposite of truth. He didn't play video games so often. That's why we use the past tense to tell the listener, no, this is not true. It's just imaginative. It's not true. But if he didn't play video games so often, he would get better grades on tests. So if he didn't do that, this is probably something would happen. But Peter is not making a choice for what he is going to do in the future. We're just imagining if this were true. If this were true, this would happen. So it's not planning for the future. Actually, it's the opposite of what's true at the moment. Second conditional, you can see that this sentence is the opposite of what's true at the moment. And also, we're using it in an imaginative situation. That's when we use the second conditional. So let's go back to the first and the second conditional. Let me zoom out. So for the first conditional, we use it because we're talking about the future. We're actually making a choice. Tomorrow, I don't know what the weather will be like tomorrow, but if it rains, this is what I will do. If it doesn't rain, this is what I will do. So I'm actually planning and making a decision for the future. Now, as for the second conditional, Peter doesn't get good grades on tests because he plays video games way too often, and this is the truth. He plays video games all the time. But if he didn't play video games so often, this is the opposite of what's true, and he would get better grades on tests. This is just an imaginative situation, an imaginative outcome, that if he didn't play video games so often, maybe he would get better grades on tests. So that's the difference between these two conditionals. Now, for more information, if you want to know more about the first conditional and the second conditional, please visit www.theportableclassroom.blogspot.tw. There are tons of worksheets for you to practice with, and there are tons of videos for you to watch. Now, thank you for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you find this video somehow helpful.